I like YouTube. I really like YouTube.
Life happen.
All right, we live. All right. Bro, I like life. Welcome to the life. And be blessed.
I need mobile money. You say mobile money.
Welcome to the life.
Mobile money or Binance?
There's literally.
Or you cash only?
I don't have mobile money. How much do you need mobile money?
Only at 20.
I have 500.
France.
Yeah.
That's small.
I don't keep those things in Momo again.
Wait, but you get Binance.
No, no, no. You don't never. All right. So today we're going to talk about the 5 questions every man must ask themselves. As far as you live in this G field, you have to ask yourself this question. Please, when you join the live, give a thumbs up. Give a thumbs up. Please text and tell me where you're watching from. I can see someone. Where are you watching from? Where are you watching from? Hello, Christine Labe. Where are you watching from? Hello, happy to have you here today. All right, we have 9 viewers. Please give a thumbs up. We're going to talk about the 5 questions every man must ask themselves. As far as you live in this G field, you have to ask yourself these 5 questions. It's a must ask question, a must know answers to these questions. So give a thumbs up. Thank you for joining. Please, when you join the live, give a thumbs up, please. When you join the live, give a thumbs up. And you tell me where you're watching from, because we're going to talk about the 5 questions every man must ask themselves. 5 questions you must ask yourself. It's very important for every human being. Please, when you join the live, give a thumbs up. This is amazing to have 10 people watching. When you join the live, give a thumbs up. So, Labe, where are you watching from? Labe, where are you watching from? Where are you watching from? All right. I want to start with the first question you must ask yourself as a human being, regardless of where you come from, regardless of where you're going to. You have to ask yourself this question. It's very important for you to know the answers to this question. The first question every man must ask themselves is, where are you coming from? When you answer the question of where you're coming from, you solve the problem of your source. When you understand where you're coming from, is solve the problem of your source. Your source defines where you're coming from. So that's the first question every man must ask himself. When you ask yourself where you're coming from, the ability for you to know where you're going to, the chances are high. The chances for you to know where you're going to becomes very high when you know where you're coming from. Join the live, give a thumbs up. I'm not gonna be long today. 5 questions every man must ask themselves for you to survive in this G field. The first question, as we said, is where you coming from. I'm going to text it in the chat below. The first question is where are you coming from? When you answer the question of where you're coming from, solve the problem of your source, sorry. Welcome to the live and where you watching from. Welcome and where you watching from. As I said, the 5 questions every man must ask himself, or 5 questions you must ask yourself, is where you coming from. Thank you for your love. Thank you for the likes to this live. I'm not going to be long. So the second question you must ask yourself as well is, where are you going to? When you answer the question of where you're going to, you solve the problem of your destination. When we talk about destiny, we mean where you're going to. So I'm going to explain this very easily, in a very easy way, so you understand what I'm talking about. When you answer the question of where you're going to, it solves the problem of your destiny, that is your destination. Might be delayed. What I said again. When you answer the second question, that is where are you going to, it solves the problem of your destiny. Destiny. Thank you for your love. Thank you for the like. And when you join the live, tell me where you're watching from. All right, you're good. El Mati says you are good. Thank you. I appreciate it. Please subscribe to the channel and comment where you're watching from. El Mati, where you watching from? Where are you watching from? I'm live streaming from Cameroon. Where are you watching from? Where you watching from? Stay in the live, share the live, and let's get this done. The first question every man must ask himself is where you coming from, and it solve the problem of your source. The second question you must ask yourself is where you going to, and that solve the problem of your destiny. Destiny is where you're going to, and your source is where you came from, where you're coming from. All right. I'm not going to be long. We're getting there. Bro. So the third question every man must ask himself is, why are you here on earth? Why are you here? When you answer the question of why you're here, that's going to solve the problem of your purpose. So your purpose literally is a definition of why are you on earth? Why are you on earth? When you know why you're on earth, you're solving the problem of your purpose, or you're answering the question of your purpose. So you must know where you're coming from, that's your source. You must know where you're going to, that's your destination, and what or your why on earth, that's your purpose. Please join the live and give a thumbs up and tell me where you're watching from. Hello, red light. Hello. Why are you watching from, red light? So today we're discussing on 5 questions every man must ask themselves. That the first question is where you coming from, that's your source. The second is where you going to, that's your destination. The third is why are you on earth, and that is your purpose. Yeah. We're going ahead, we're going ahead, we're going ahead. All right. Red light, where you watching from? Talk to me, where you watching from? 5 questions every man must ask himself. I spoke about the first question, where you coming from? The second question, where you going to? And the third question, why are you on earth? Why are you on earth? That's it. Join the live. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Welcome, and tell me where you're watching from. Tell me where you're watching from, and understand the 5 questions every man must ask himself. First question is where you coming from. That is your source. The second is where you're going to, your destination or your destiny, and the third is why are you on earth. That's all right. Where you watching from? Anadi. I had a break. My network got some challenge. All right. Where you watching from? Anadi. I had a break. My network got some challenge. All right. So I'm going to give you a summary of what we discussed today. 5 questions everyone must ask themselves. That is where you coming from, your source, where you going to, your destiny, what you can do, your potentials, why you on earth, your purpose, and who are you or who you are as your identity. And I made mention of your identity or your authority is more powerful with identity. When you know who you are, your authority increases. If you don't know you have a certain level of power, you may not be able to execute that power because you don't even know who you are. So the first thing that you could know is who you are. When you know who you are, you know why you're on earth, that's your purpose, and you know your potential, what it can do, and you have to identify your source, where you came from, and where you're going to, your destiny. Those are the 5 questions every man should ask himself. Every man should ask himself. So we're gonna go in live literally maybe every day, in the morning or the night, whenever. So I just have to give you a summary of what we did today. The 5 questions every man must ask himself. The 5 questions every man must ask himself. We're not gonna be long in this life today. So welcome, shout out to everybody who joined the live today, those who commented, El Mati, Red Light, Anna D, Christine. Thank you all and see you tomorrow for an amazing life again like this. Bye. God bless you all and stay blessed. Jesus Christ is King.